"Hi boss, I think I want to quit the administration." Now think about this, who will say this statement to Joe Biden right now? And indeed, it's Yellen. Now, of course, you don't see this in the mainstream media because seemingly no one actually believes in it. Yeah. Apparently, there's this grapevine ongoing right now that Yellen has actually submitted her resignation. But of course, the mainstream media, I just saw on Bloomberg, they say no. And she has mentioned that she'll continue after the midterm election. So again, I'm just going to play the devil advocate right now to share with you that there is a ongoing rumor, but of course, let's see how it goes. I'll explain this more in detail with you. But before that itself, disclaimer apply as usual, and thank you, Ames, for doing the kind sponsorship. Alright, now let's talk about the stock market first. Okay, now there's a question being asked, why the stock market came down on last Friday after it went up. Okay, so what happened was the S&P 500 was trading at about 3639 at the opening price, okay? And it went all the way up to 3670, and that was pretty decent, right? Now, what was the reason why the market actually did this? Apparently, there is a 2.3 million SPY put expiration, okay? So the traders actually decided to close out their position early so that they can get out of it, and that was what causes the market to recover pretty strongly. Now, the question is after this, okay? You can see that throughout the volume itself have been pretty slow and not really moving much. Suddenly, the selling brought back down and it continued all the way until to the last 15 minutes where the volume just ridiculously picked it up, okay? So that's the reason why this morning we saw some selling in the market. And of course, from here, we can see that very clear the market has no strength at all. And of course, all the SPY put option has been expired. So now we look at the whole market once again. Now this to explain to you what happened. Now, Bank of England and Germany is spending a lot, and Bank of England have announced their grid market operation, meaning in short, they're going to print more money in a way. And of course, Germany is going to spend another 200 billion euro to tackle the high energy prices. So simply put itself, they are going to put in more money into the system, despite that they know that the current inflation is an issue. So what they're trying to do is this. They increase their interest rates on one side, but they are still trying to print money. So this is the problem, right? So yeah, they're trying to do something what you call that. They are trying to avoid stagflation. Because they are trying their best to make sure that things is moving, and this could be a big problem. Now, one big issue is that Federal Reserve is still not reducing their balance sheet. You can see right now, yeah, the number did go down a little bit, but it's nowhere near to whatever they say. And if you look at it, right, in the more breakdown form, you notice that, yes, it went out a bit, but it's nowhere near what they want. And of course, there are still some increment at other places. So if Federal Reserve is not doing what they're supposed to do, the question mark is, why aren't they doing that? Is it because that they have something to worry about? Now, we all know that Federal Express, the CEO, has came out and said that the economy could enter a worldwide recession, which is something that I've been saying this for the longest of time since January this year. So, with the CEO from FedEx telling you this as well, right? And Nike, oh my God, look at it. The Nike share plunged on Friday because there's an overstock in inventories. And why? Because when there's so much stock left over and there's no buying, right? Naturally, the cost increases and the profit actually goes down. So, the stock went down by 10% overnight, in fact 12%, and that was because there's a 44% surge in inventories. Now, the problem is this. The analysts are now saying that this could be a very difficult Christmas season because people are not really spending right now. But more important today, the main topic is Janet Yellen really moving on? So Janet Yellen is the 78th Secretary of Treasury. She's a former federal chair and always an economist, as we all know that. Pretty smart lady. Now, the thing is this. Now on the off mainstream, okay, there's a scoop ongoing saying that now the White House is preparing for her potential departure. Now I read this word potential, okay, so it's not confirmed yet, but it's ongoing right now, and some of the so-called non-mainstream media is actually covering this. Now, obviously, some people say that, why is she leaving? Oh, well, we can see that when she came in as well, right, she's supposed to help her boss, Joe Biden. But we all know that during the last 12 to 18 months, apparently it's alright. We saw inflation going all the way sky high, GDP coming down. So what do you expect to happen, right? So the thing is this, we just saw on Bloomberg, Janet Yellen tells the White House that she stays as a Treasury chief. And Treasury spokesperson Michael Gwynne says that Secretary Yellen has no to leave. Okay, so from this point, Bloomberg, right? So we should trust. Okay, but then again, why would out of nowhere with this? So the question is, do you believe in the mainstream media or so-called the off-mainstream? Because we all seen before, usually the off-mainstream, right, there's a rational reason why they actually get those scoops, right? And of course, after that, we do see the mainstream media reporting. I give the best idea is that when the Queen, right, from Queen of England, Elizabeth, when she basically passed on, you notice that it was off-mainstream media that actually, announced the news. But then about hours later, then the mainstream media began to show up. All right, so this is something that you need to consider. So of course, what and the reason why? Well, we know that Biden has been all the way very supportive of the Ukraine war and been pumping billions and billions of dollars into this so-called war, right? So think about this. That will add a lot of stress to Secretary Janet Yellen, right? Obviously. So now there is some going saying that she and her boss is not really meeting eye to eye, and she feel that if this is going to continue, right, her credential might be tainted, hence therefore she wants to leave. So remember that back in July 24th, right, Janet Yellen came in and says that the US economy was not in recession, but that's 24th of July 2022. Now fast forward a tape 4 months later, we all know that we are really going towards a potential recession. So now the thing is this, she's definitely struggling, we all know that, and this is from Bloomberg, okay? Now obviously after 18 months later, Joe Biden presidency is in trouble with the inflation soaring to 40 years high, and Democrat could on course for a wipeout in the midterm election. This is whereby obviously Yellen might be trapped in inevitable blame game. So think about this. If really Biden need to put someone to be on a chopping board itself, right? If it's not going to be Powell, likelihood it will be Janet Yellen. So in my opinion itself, right, this look like a more political reason than not. But again, I'm just basically telling you that there's on the off-stream media, they're telling you that Janet Yellen is going out, but of course the mainstream media say she's not. So think about this, all right? But if she's going to be leaving, would that mean that there'll be further trouble for the Democrat administration? Definitely, for sure. And would the market take it lightly? I don't think so. All right, so you can see over here is right, when this Yellen was interviewed recently by CNN, she's now saying that, well, there's potential for recession is a concern and a risk. So this you can see when in July she said no, but now she said yes. So think about this, the flip-flopping itself, right, might basically become an easy target board to be sacrificed, in my opinion. All right, so let's look at the chart right now and let's see what is happening. Oops, there's some incoming call. I just stop this for a while. Okay, let's have the market right now. Okay, so let's look at the market. Okay, first of all, let's look at my KFC first. Okay, first of all, you can see on gold chart itself, gold is still forming a base at 1644, the number I mentioned. And if they're going to go up itself, right, we're going to go to 1720s. Okay, but fundamentally, I can't see how gold can go up. Fundamental, but technical, as long as 1644 stays, that's not too bad. Okay. Now for the Dow Jones itself, right, we are getting nearer and nearer to my KFC date, and that's about November period. So that means that something big and drastic could happen in November, and traders should be watching out. Now for the NASDAQ, oh my god, this is brilliant. Okay, NASDAQ has broke below my technical level. Okay, and now it came down to my level. I say it will come down to 10832, and today's low is perfect, 10831. Spot on, okay guys, spot on. Okay, remember all the way I've been telling you that the NASDAQ will hit 10,832. My goodness, today is a pure spot on. Congratulations to those people who followed through. All right, and of course Hang Seng is firming up a little bit. You can see that there's some base right now on Hang Seng, so I'm gonna put the level in and tell you that, okay, it's seemingly there's some base right now around this 17,000 level. Alright, as we know, 17,000 is actually a psychological level, so I believe that the market will likely be holding fort. Okay, alright, so that is the 4 markets that I have for KFC. And first look at China market. Now China market today has continued to fall and it's really very near to my 12,636 support level, but the way it closed itself is very interesting. Yes, it's very interesting. It's actually slightly above the lows that was created a couple of days ago. So that means that the market could actually see a bottoming out effect in the near term. Now I'm not saying the market will recover back up again, but a bit of technical rebound is kind of expected. So I'm going to call it right now. I believe that there could be a technical rebound in the near term. Yep, until around this area, and of course if the market breaks, we can see a higher level. But if not itself, right, the midterm is 13,100. So now it's at 12,800. Upside itself is about 300. Okay, so watch out for this. All right, let's look at the today's market right now. Let's look at Dow Jones first. Now for the Dow, as you can see, my KSI is still red. But interestingly, my KRW today is not finished yet, right? Seemingly it's disappearing. So actually that means there could be some buying interest coming in. I repeat, buying interest. The pivot is 28,673. Hence, therefore, if the market can above MLP at 29,028, we could see the market going back up to 29,630. But I think that we should be very comfortable with MLP first to begin with. So today my target upside will be 29,028 for MLP, and downside is still going to be the same, 28,673, which was tested this morning and now has recovered. Yep. Okay. Now, how about the NASDAQ? Now, the NASDAQ also did the same thing. I told you guys just now it hit my target level at 10,832. Brilliant. And now it got supported at the pivot 2 level. So as long as it stays above OP, it should be able to touch MLP at 11,091. Okay. But of course, both KSI and KRW are red. So you can see that there was initial selling in the morning. Yep. S&P 500. Now, S&P 500 is also firming around 35.72 right now, and I suspect that it could be testing 36.20 later today. Yes, 36.20 today, because you can see that there is seemingly some turnover at the moment. Okay, although it's still too early to call, but I suspect it may happen. Now look at this. This is the Hang Seng. As I mentioned again, this morning Hang Seng stays above the pivot 1 at 169.72. Now it went below 900 quickly, and now it's retained and recover. And it had tested the MLP this morning at 17164. So I suspect that the Hang Seng could be testing this number again later on. Okay, and of course we can see that there could be some turnover pretty soon too. Now Nikkei, as you can see today, has done an incredible recovery. Now the Nikkei went down to the low of 25,733 just now, but then again the recovery was pretty strong. It went back up all the way to above 26,046, and this is going to continue, and likelihood is going to see 26,369. That's pivot 1. Okay, and same thing again, there's seeming some turnover at the moment now, and that's why we are watching this very closely. Now for DAX itself, I understand that many people have been asking us how come the DAX itself, right, is still going down but my KRW stay blue. Now do understand this, KW is a weightage thingy, and hence if you look carefully it's alright. Yep, the market overall is coming down, but look at the base level. Every time when the market goes low, there's some recovery. So now if let's say we're going to have KSI turning green and the cyan color retain example, then we should see the DAX recover back up, and I suspect that there's a chance, because today is a Doji directional day. Hence, therefore, there could be a chance that we can see the market going back up again. But I don't think it's just today. I think you need another 1 or 2 days of sideways consolidation before it moves higher, okay? And of course, crude oil is my favorite today. Now, I've been telling you guys that if you can crude oil, you can buy. If when it's around this area, $75, that'd be great. But we missed the buy entry. It's okay. Now, of course, crude oil is going up because OPEC Plus is going to meet on Wednesday, and likelihood they're going to do some output reduction, which we already said that last month, right? So they were not going to stop this. I think they're going to just proceed with it, and there's a good chance that we can see the market coming up to this point here, and that's about 86.50. All right, 86.50 for crude oil. The longer term expect, yeah, 36.50. And of course, if there's nothing changed and the BNB retain, wow, we could see going back to $90 now. If you go back to $90, that means that whatever they have done over the month of September is wasted, because crude oil from the start of the month of September has brought down all the way to about this point here. Okay, that means that it was down for like $7 from the high. All right, so it's still good, but then again, if this crude oil start to move higher, then naturally, right, then the inflation numbers start to go up again. Don't you think so? Yeah, indeed. All right, so that is crude oil. Let's look at gold market right now. Let's look at gold. Okay, now for gold itself, right, today we have the third doji potential. Now we have 2 dojis already, and very clear that the market is kind of resisted at the RL level at 1662. So if the gold couldn't stay above 1662, then if the market below 1660, which is currently right now MLP, then 1654 will be the critical. Now think about this. If the dollars had to so-called depreciate, right? Naturally the gold should go higher, but for the gold to be like stand still right now, right, that means that something is wrong. So I suspect that gold could actually test 1654 in the near term, right, later today. Okay, so watch out for this. Now for silver, silver is trying itself to maintain up, and I've been telling you this, if you can, just buy some silver. Now silver came down to $18. It's a level that I really want to buy, but we missed it a little bit. It's okay. But now silver has broke above the PMB RL level, so by right it should be going towards 1998. 1998 should be the next target. So traders, watch out for this. The KXCX already turned to it's become flat, so that means bullishness has picked it up. So traders, you need to watch this very closely. All right. And of course we have done that. Let's look at my other indicator for my Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Now Bitcoin is still sluggish. It's going sideways towards the downside. Now if Bitcoin loses 19,238, which is the MLP, which is currently right now, okay, there is a chance that Bitcoin may test back again to 18,600 series. Okay, now but the KSI and the KCX are a bit to the positive side, so that's the reason why we may see the market going sideways. But if the market is going to dump into this high risk asset, right, just be careful. It could be coming back down here again. Upside potential must break MA30 19491 so that it can test back 19800 series. Okay, and last but not least is Ethereum. Now Ethereum at the moment now is at a sideways mark at ML 1305, and now it's 1286. So at this moment right now, the KSI and KCX is actually extending the downside. So undeniable, it seems that Ethereum could be still holding downwards movement towards 1197 region. Okay, 1197 region. Okay, so that is what I have for you for today. Like I say, this is a brand new month as our market is kind of tight and it may not be moving much, but I believe that the next 2-3 days when the market is getting more clear of direction itself, right, big movement is on the way here itself. All right, this is Cal signing off. Hope you make good money. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.